Well, Amy and I just landed in Ontario. We're back home, on our way back home to Guelph, Ontario. Great night last night, man. Tactical Mounds, the Colts were impressive. I was happy with both of them. They both trotted as hard as they could to the wire. They were both off a week or 10 days or more, even more, for Brace for Landing heading into last night's race, and they both trotted as hard as they could to the wire. You can't ask for anything more than that. The filly was super impressive. You know what I found most interesting about the filly race last night was her competition. If you added up the cost, these are 2-year-old fillies, the cost of all the participants racing against Tactical Mounds last night, it came in just shy of $1.6 million. The horse that beat her last night was a $300,000 yearling from Kentucky. It just goes to show, you know, that the industry's full of people that are, many of them in the same boat, just trying to get their horses going and in the right position. And man, when you look back, I was just saying to Amy at the airport, when you look back at where Tactical Mounds came from, right? We all knew she had talent. She trained down, this after she'd injured her knees quite badly. Trained down, caught up to the crew, but mentally was missing that time, right? That time she was in the stall, she was missing it. And then to see her catch back up to everybody, and then throughout the summer, there was talent there. She had that win at Georgian in 2-1 in the mud, you know, trotted in 59, trotted in 58 a couple of times for Jody and I in Ontario, but now hit her best stride. And Amy said it last night. She goes, she looks so much better now. She's put on muscle and weight, but that's what they have to do. And now that's important when you take a look at Brace for Landing. I continue to tell everybody he's just a little immature. You know, Amy got a little incensed. I said, I don't even care about the final. I just want to see the horse grow and race good. And that is because he is far, far from peaking. My hope is that he actually peaks as a 2-year-old somewhat in his 2-year-old season. I'd like to see him, you know, start to look like Tactical Mounds does now. Because, you know, one of my partners, Elliot, I met Elliot last night for the first time in person and showed him what I was talking about. I said, here's Brace for Landing. Now look at Wallander, who, by the way, was a horse that we were very interested in last year. We didn't get him, but looks big and strong. I said, he's not mature yet. You know, you can still tell he's growing, but when you put those two horses beside, you can see quite easily and quite quickly what I'm talking about when I talk about the physical maturity. Mentally, Brace for Landing is getting there. He's on point. He understands. You know, I didn't want to stuff him in a hole last night. All 3 of those horses, I just let them continue on their way. You got that big sweeping turn in the first turn. It's a big track. All 3 of them, very quiet, methodically charged to the lead. None of them were aggressive and hot, wound up. They just did their work well. You know, and Brace for Landing did his work very well. As soon as he went to the front, he just relaxed. I could have been over the half in a minute. Maybe I should have doubled him up even more and forced Toddy out of the hole quicker than I did and followed him. I guess I could have done that. But in my head, I said, I don't know any of these horses. I know the horse in behind me is real good. If I get a real good breather, are they going to be able to tackle me? And quite frankly, if he doesn't pop out of the 2-hole when he did, he beats me probably. He probably gets out somewhere, but I'm a close second because I used him pretty hard in the last turn as Todd was attacking and advancing. So a great mile from Brace for Landing, but not physically even close to mature yet. This horse has got a lot of work. You know what's so cool is that Jimmy Tactor and his family bred bred Brace for Landing, and when I come off the track here, him and Nancy are watching him warm up, and he said, looks good, eh? I said, yeah. I said, you know, he said you can still tell he's same thing right away. He said, you're still very immature. And I said, yeah, he's learning. And he saw him after the race. He goes, I thought he raced well. I said, I agree. I think he raced very, very well. So very happy with them. And then Landing Strip, mentally, physically, is actually a little bit ahead of those guys as far as advancement in the overall maturity. You know, you can drive him like an aged horse, right? He is a little more durable, but he's also a little more compact. He's a little more stout. I thought all 3 of them raced fantastic last night, but Tactical Mounds, man, I think she's sitting on a big, big mile. This filly has come so far in such a short period of time. It is really, really amazing. to watch her growth as a racehorse. Last night, she'd put the 2 on the outside of her way. She didn't see that horse coming until she really was a little tired. Keep in mind, it's almost 2 weeks since she raced last, coming off a break. She raced well last night, really, really well. And when we looked at her blood work, Megan had brought their blood work up after. All 3 of those horses can be helped in their next start. All 3 of their blood works were a little askew, a little off. Super impressed with, when looking at the blood work of Tactical Mounds and then seeing her, she was winded after the race. She was blowing quite a bit. I just think there's such a high ceiling for this filly. She's got a lot going on and a lot of ahead of her. Now she only has the final next week, which is a big deal, obviously. And then she has the New Jersey, the kindergarten. Now, if she can go out in the 4th leg and happen to win or do really well, I don't know. I know there's a lot of horses in the division. How many of them are put away? How many of them are going to be ready to go? Maybe she can race in the Constellation. Maybe she can. And quite frankly, if she looks as good as she did last night and advances as much as I believe she can over the next month, who knows? Maybe there is an opportunity to race her somewhere else. We did that last year with another horse in the barn. So Tactical Mounds, if you're going to push me and say, who really wowed you? She really wowed me. 1, with how methodical she was, but all 3 of them were like that. But 2, how quick she was, how strong she was, and how you can see when you step back and look at her recovery rate after the race, look at her blowing, look at her blood work, look at the filly herself, the entire package. Man, there's a high ceiling there. She's a really, really nice filly. Brace for Landing, super excited about him. He's got lots ahead of him, lots still ahead of him. We can go to Kentucky if we want. I don't think there's a rush to point him towards a Breeders' Crown, and quite frankly, I'm actually more in tune to point him towards the Valley Victory than anything else. And also Tactical Mounds, same type of deal. So super excited about these 3 horses and what the future holds for them. These are horses. This is why you really have to take stock of what you have all year and connect your expectations to that. The fact that Brace for Landing wasn't ready in June, wasn't ready to do what we needed him to do, or Tactical Mounds, or Landing Strip. None of those 3 horses were ready to do what they did last night in June. But understanding that and allowing them the time to grow up and become the horses we need them to become at their rate led to last night and will lead to next week and further on in the future for these horses. So really proud, not just of the horses, but the path we went about getting them here. So, really happy with last night. Looking forward to this weekend. I'm not going to do my videos today because we do have some other horses racing over the next day or 2, and I do want to watch them race. So, I'm going to do this video today. Might do the 2-year-olds on the way home also. We're in traffic. Might do the 2-year-olds also, but wanted to bring everybody an update of just how impressed and pleased I was with last night. For the finals, we did have some people asking. I am at the Ohio sale next Friday. There's physically no way for me to get to New Jersey, nor is there any need for me to be in New Jersey. We have the hobbles set up, we have the equipment there. Megan knows where everything goes, what everything needs to look like. I just don't think I need to be there. I think you're going to see Mark McDonald, my brother, drive Tactical Mounds. You're going to see Mark drive Landing Strip, and I believe Tim Tetrick will be listed on Brace for Landing. So that's exciting. Super exciting for us coming up this week. Also with the Champlain on Thursday, the day before the day before the New Jersey finals for us, and that specific day is our first major sale of the year in the Ohio Select Sale. So not only did we have a big week last week, we've had a big year, but it just keeps coming in waves. Huge week next week with the Champlain, New Jersey finals, the Ohio sale, a number of other things going on. And as we lead into Lexington, we have the Ohio finals, the Ontario finals. Just so much going on. It's always nice to have a good night at the races, a little rest, and wake up fresh. So, as I said, we're home now, on our way back to Guelph, and I'm looking forward to getting up tomorrow, taking my time, and going over to Northfield Park to race the 3-year-olds. So, with that, I'll let you go. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. It certainly has been another great weekend at thestable.ca. Take care.